everyone. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity to share with you once again. So, today I'm going to be speaking to you about sovereignty of God and our response. Many times in life, we don't understand a lot of things that happen in our lives. We want to know why, we look for answers, sometimes in the wrong place, and we find ourselves in a difficult place. We become anxious, we get angry, we look for counsel, and try to figure out our circumstances. Why do I find myself in such a place? I believe our life has become everything about I, me, and myself, my family. We start to look inward instead of looking up to God. We focus on ourselves so much that we have no time to understand what God has in store for us. Now, there are two instances in the Bible that I want to draw our attention to. One is 2 Kings chapter 5. That is the story of Naaman. Now, here we see Naaman was infected with leprosy at a time when there was no cure for leprosy. And if we see how the Lord worked things out, there was a slave girl in his house who spoke to his wife, and eventually he went to Israel to meet the prophet. Now, if you look at the story, it's like a picture perfect story. I'm not well, I go to a prophet, he prays over me, and I'm healed. And that's exactly what happened in Naaman's life. He went, of course, he had some thing to say in between, but eventually he accepted what was told, and God restored him. And the next thing that I want to talk about is God chose Jacob over Esau. Why? We don't know. Was Jacob a righteous man in our sight? Definitely in my sight, I cannot accept that he was a righteous man looking at all the things that he did. But God found him righteous. God chose him. That is what is more important. God blessed both of them. He blessed Jacob, he blessed Esau too, but in different ways. And in our sight, we find that Jacob had it better than his brother. Now, why did God work in a particular way in Naaman's life? And why did that little girl have to go through such a difficult circumstance to help somebody else? And at the same time, why did God choose Jacob? Now, here is where I want us to focus on the sovereignty of God. Now, we may find ourselves many times comparing our lives to others. Why is this person like this? Or why is he able to do so well and why am I not able to do so well? Why are all these different things happening in different people's life and why not in my life? Now, God allows all these for a reason, and probably he knows what he is doing, and he is sovereign, and that is what I want to drive home here. Psalm 139 verse 16 says, "All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." So instead of sitting and worrying, instead of sitting and thinking or trying to figure out our circumstances, I think the best thing to do is, be it small things in our lives or big life altering situations, remember God is sovereign. He is in control. We only need to accept His sovereignty and trust in Him to lead us through. The quicker we accept His sovereignty, accept our circumstances as God ordained, and that God knows what exactly He's doing, I think life becomes a lot more easier. And this is my prayer for all of us today, to accept all that is happening in our lives just as they are, without trying to decode what is not necessarily needed, but rather trust God to lead us through. Thank you all for listening. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. And remember, God is in control. Take care.